Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world, wherever you may be, and across the country too. And we are here. It's a Thursday. Once again, we meet together on this Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, though, in London at 1 a.m., and it's 3 a.m. in Israel, and we've got 9 a.m. in Tokyo. So we're all around the world. We're all in different time zones. We want to welcome you to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is a show where we get together each week, and of course, we bring everybody in part of the show. That's why we call it Talk Back Live. And for those of you who've been around with us for a long time, you already know the protocol. I don't have to tell you too much about it, but listen anyway. For the benefit of the people who are possibly new, we get together each week at this time, as I said, and we have conversation. We like to rope everyone into the conversation, and you're free to do that. And we're going to be here for a whole hour doing that with a lot of information. And as the host of the show, getting things started right now. And as we get things started, you can get started with us right now. You don't have to wait. You can type in whatever you want to talk about, whether it's on your computer, your cell phone, or your pad, or iPad, or even your any kind of device that you use that has a screen and, of course, a keyboard. You could use it and type in whatever you want to talk about, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. That's what it's all about. It's all about ideas, free exchange of ideas and of opinions. And we value yours each week as you come along with us. Now, if you're watching us for the first time, you ought to know we're on 3 different areas. So you can visit any area that you like, any one of the platforms that you like. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram too. And any one of those 3 will get you there. You can watch along with others. And we invite you guys to be along with us. So we want to say hello to you guys no matter where you're watching. We're all around the world. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. But we're all around the world. And no matter where you go, it doesn't matter. Anywhere on God's green earth, you could find us, just as long as you're in a great area where there's signal, Wi-Fi, and a great hotspot. We're right there for you. Keep telling your family and friends about it, because we would love them to join us too. And you can do that, especially if you're watching us on Facebook, by tagging each and every one of your friends. You can tag this show directly right now. You can do that right now. And once they get that tag from you, they'll see it, they'll click onto it. Providing they're out there to watch it, they'll click onto it. And of course, what they'll see is you, me, and everyone else here. It brings them directly to us. Now, let's say, for instance, if you tag them and you don't see them, or they don't see you, maybe they're not online, and they come on a little late, well, they can click on and then they can watch the rerun of the show, because we do rerun it. Any event, we are here for the whole full hour, and we thank you so much for being along with us. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, what I want you to do is take the time right now. If you haven't done it thus far, do it right now. It takes no time, takes no effort. Is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And all you have to do is take your little mouse, drag it over to where it says subscribe, put the arrow right there, point it, click it, and it's it. No money involved, no nothing involved. That's all it takes. It's just that one little click. And you won't miss anything just by taking that little time of the one little click. Because while you're talking to me, while I'm talking to you, all you have to do is just click it, and it's right there. That gives you the opportunity to know that whenever we come on live, or if we do another activity such as post a video or some sort on the site, of course, that will give you information. You get an instant pop-up stating that something is going on. That's an instant reminder that there's something there. Now, a lot of you may next week, if you subscribe and next week you come along and you figure, well, you forgot all about it, and you happen to be online, just doing whatever you're doing, you'll see that instant message will pop right up, and that's your reminder right there that something's going on there. Let me check it out, click onto it, and brings you right to the YouTube channel. So we invite you to do that. Click on right away. If you haven't done it thus far, please do it right now. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, there's no need to worry about anything. There's not much to do except just to tell your friends about it, let them know, keep them informed. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram and on YouTube, you can do something similar to what the people do on Facebook. What they do, they take the show and they tag the show to their friends. But you can do basically the same thing. Wherever you are, cut and paste. Just cut and paste the link, right? And send it to them. That's all it takes, and it brings them right there. So that's a way of communicating. We want you to keep telling your friends about us. And of course, we thank you so much for being along. As we always do, talking to you as well, but we do our regular routine here, not too long from now, just a few minutes from now. We have Brian Camp coming directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to hook up with him. We do that each week. And he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And he'll tell you a lot about that. There's a lot of things going on in sports. Of course, the Olympics are still on, and it will be here up until the 11th, but he'll tell you more about that. So that's coming along. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to meet him. You'll see him live on screen. He'll be here. And of course, you get a chance to watch him and talk to him at the same time. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, it's not the same thing. However, you can hear what he's saying and you don't have to miss anything. It's like if he's on the radio or something, you can hear everything he's saying, but you won't be able to see him. We're not designed that way. And the only way you can do that is, I guess, switch on to one of the other ones I was just telling you about, and then you can actually see him. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter. You'll get a chance to see him. And then at the same time, if you have any sports related questions, of course, you're able to do that. You're able to ask all the questions you want about sports, something that relates to sports or the Olympics or something like that, and he'll have the answers for you. Now, if he doesn't have the answer for some reason, and we're not all geniuses, sometimes we may not know something or something didn't come up that we have to research or do something over and over. He will do that for you, and once he gets that, he'll give you that answer at some point, right? So please do that. Stay with us for the full hour and enjoy it. And we're going to have a good time together. Also, later in the program, we have this little niche that we call This Day in History. Now, something happened on this day in history. On this day, here we are, August 8th, brand new month, August 8th, and something historical happened on August 8th. And we'll tell you more about that. That's coming up too. And of course, before the show is over, we're going to do this whole thing that I always do, is give you those movies that you like, those classic movies. Now, I do this each week. I go on Turner Classic Movies and pick out great movies that I think you might enjoy and add them to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. Yes, this weekend is coming up, like it or not. Or you can't wait for it to come around. It'll be here just before you know it. And on the weekends, you have a lot of chance to do things that you normally might not able to do during the week. And one of the things that you want to do is maybe catch up on some movies that you haven't seen in a long time. And of course, you could do that. And I want to add to your bucket list of movies. So I have a list of movies too that I'm going to convey to you to add to your bucket list of what to watch. I'll tell you more about that. That's all coming up later on in the program. Just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan. I'm your host, and I will be here for the whole full hour. We hope that whatever time you could spend with us, that would be great. We hope that you could spend the entire hour with us. But if it's just a few minutes, we really appreciate whatever time you could spend with us. But we hope the case is that you're able to stay with us the whole full hour and be part of the action as well. Yes, it is. It's August, and here we are in the middle of everything. Still the summer months are here, and before you know it, things will make a turnaround. September is the next month coming around. That means kids are gearing up to go back to school. All right, that's all coming up, but we still have a few more days, a couple of more weeks to savor the moments of summer. And of course, the unofficial ending of summer is also it's Labor Day, which is coming up in September. I believe that's the first week of the month of September, and that's the unofficial ending of summer. But while summer is here, let's continue to enjoy it. We had cooler temperatures. You know, we're in the hurricane season right now, and that's going to last right through September. And just to prove it, the Hurricane Debbie is wreaking a lot of havoc, a lot of places. And we got a taste of her here in New York. Had a lot of rain last night, and our weather forecast, Weather Bureau says here in New York, we're going to be getting more rain. And we had a lot of big downpours here, gusty winds. And on the outskirts of the city, you know, in the suburbs, they've been getting hit hard, maybe out in New Jersey somewhere where there are not a lot of buildings to block the wind and the rain. And so they had a lot of flood damages, and people had to evacuate out of their homes and stay in hotels until they dried out. I saw it all. They had it right on the news, and that's how it is. Now, it may not be the case in your area. Now, some places the hurricane is going through, and in some places where people are actually getting a big taste of the hurricane, well, that's what's happening. And so that's what we're getting. We're getting a taste of it. And I've never seen so much wet weather this year in my life, but that's what we got so far, and there's more to come. But whatever your weather forecast is, I hope it's going to suit you better than it's suiting us. But if you happen to be in an area where that's happening, and you can still keep your electricity and things like that, if it's not that bad, it keeps you indoors. That'll give you the opportunity to do indoor things. And again, catch up on some movies, which we'll tell you about later on. Thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to be with you, as I said, for the whole hour. And yes, indeed, a lot of things have been going on here in New York, and of course, all around the world. And of course, on this month, you may be celebrating something, maybe such as your birthday or something like that. Maybe, you know, your birthday or something goes along, you know, talk about it. Yeah, that's it. But we do celebrate. And if you have any birthdays that you want to celebrate and you like us to announce them on the show, we're going to tell you how you can do that later on in the program. Okay, now here's a day. This is today. This is only for today. And this is what we're celebrating nationally. And you can't make this stuff up. Today is National Frozen Custard Day. Whatever your custard flavor is, chocolate custard, vanilla custard, root beer custard, I don't know, whatever custard. Butterscotch is my favorite kind of custard, you know. But anyway, that's what we're celebrating, and we were celebrating all day today, National Frozen Custard Day. And you don't have to have a day like that to celebrate it. No, you don't have to really have a day like that to celebrate. All you have to do is just go to your favorite supermarket and buy something, or make your own, whatever it is. And that's what we're celebrating today. And so enjoy your custard. If you may be having some right now, wherever you are. And if you happen to be in the morning hours, maybe it's a little too early for custard, but I would believe that, I'm entitled to believe that if you're in the morning hours, it's Friday, so it's not National Custard Day, but enjoy it anyway, right? You can do that anyway. Don't forget, we have 89 days before that glorious day, that marvelous day, that election day. I want to keep telling you about that. And each week, we're going to be counting down the days, and we're going to be telling you all about it to remind you that on that day, November 5th, 2024 election, we're going to be getting out there voting for a new president of the United States. And we'll talk more about that later. But the most important thing right now is that you get on board and get there and start the vote, because people are going to be talking about it. People will be complaining a lot, but don't do any complaining if you're not going to vote. The best thing to do is just go out there and exercise your right. It is your legal right, and take advantage of that. That's what's happening. That's November 5th. We got 89 days away and counting. Okay, so please do that. And for those of you who don't know where to go to vote, right? Go to or Google it, or go to your local Board of Education, and they'll tell you where to go, where your voting station is. They'll tell you all of that. They have all that information for you. But make sure that when you call them, to make sure that you're registered to vote too. You can do that right now. You know, register to vote. Make sure that your status is already intact. So this way they'll know if it's there, you can say, okay, yeah, it's good. I'm there and I'm voting. It's right there. So please do that. Sean Martin, a multiple Grammy winner, best known as a keyboard player for fusion jazz group called Snarky Puppy, and a 3-decade collaborator of a gospel artist by the name of Kirk Franklin. He died. Sean died. It was Sean that died last Saturday. Now, Martin had been under the constant medical supervision since suffering a massive stroke in April of 2023. He was 45 years old. And they say only the good die young. Let's go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, shall we? All right, I promise you we would do that. And that's what we're going to do because Brian Camp is here with us. And there's so many things we're going to talk about. But his niche is sports. That's his thing. His thing is sports. You know, he's multi-talented. He can talk about a lot of things. He can talk politics. He can talk anything. But his thing is sports. And he's here right now. And he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And if you have any questions at all about sports, all right, please feel free. Ask him. He'll be right here and he's going to answer all your sports questions. And of course, we'll be waiting for you. I'm waiting for him to pop up right now. What I see there is a iPhone 13 Pro. So he's calling off someplace else. But until he gets there, I want to say hello to Mary. Mary coming out of Brooklyn, New York. Hello, Mary. Thank you so much for being along with us. We thank you so much for that. And stay with us for the whole hour. And I do see Brian right now, and we've got the latest developments in today's world of sports. What do you got? You're on an iPhone right now?
Yeah, I more on an iPhone had technical difficulties with the other camera, so I had to use the iPhone.
Oh.
See how great technology is. You always have a backup plan. You see, so
Absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, so I can always find ways to get in. I didn't want to talk on the phone. I want the whole world to see me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's just
There you go.
and color.
And in live and living color. That's right. Yes. You know, Hurricane Debbie is something else, boy. She rocked us in North Carolina since 2 a.m. this morning. She showed up in all of North Carolina where I was at. I had to pull over on the side of the road because she was strutting her stuff, knocking down trees and poles and everything. So, but I think she left for the most part. What I hear, she's on her way towards the down into the East Coast. So you might be getting some of Hurricane Debbie. She hit Georgia.
We already got a taste of it already. We had last night. We had big downpours, and there's more to come. So yeah.
Okay.
So well, this is hurricane season too. You know, is the house okay? No problems with the house? You still have your
house is okay. No, the most important question is the smokers and the Blackstone and all my grills, are they okay? That's the most important thing. The house is secondary. The house is secondary.
I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that. All right.
No, the house is fine. The house is fine, you know. Thank God for insurance, you know. But yes, the house is fine. But the smokers, they're right up there, you know, they go neck and neck and everything. Without no smokers, I can't smoke. I can't bring people together. I can't bring the love together. So that's what's important.
They had some here over in the New York area, plus out in Jersey too. People in the suburbs, people where they
I spoke to a couple of people in New York already. They told me, yeah, it was coming down. It's supposed to be coming down some more. So but Hurricane Debbie really strut her stuff this time, you know, for this hurricane. But
streets were flooded and some power, depending on where you were, some power was lost, and some people had to evacuate out of their homes because of the flooding.
We lost temporary power. It wasn't too long. It was only in like maybe 5 minutes or so. But things are back on. The fish tank and the fishies are still swimming. So that's all. That's very important too. So the key input, the key components are still working. The house is fine and everything is fine, and I'm fine too. Good
Well,
evening to you all out there. Hope you all doing fine. Um, it is 75 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Very gloomy, windy, but the rain is going to still be coming back and forth until it finally finishes off tonight. So I said hello to you all who's out there listening globally, nationally, and locally to here at Talkback Live. We're going to talk about the Olympics. Let's talk about the Olympics. Well, the USA and Serbia national basketball teams, boy, they had a barn burner today. Now there's a 6 hour difference, so this game was played at night, but I saw it at 3 p.m. here in North Carolina. So it was like the game was on 9 o'clock. The Serbia national basketball team, they took a 17-point lead, and they was rocking the U.S. But then LeBron James and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, they came back, and now they came back and won 95-91. They will face France for the U.S. gold. That game will be on Saturday morning. Saturday morning at 5 a.m., which means in France it'll be 11 a.m. So remember the 6 hour difference, very, very important. For the bronze, Germany will be playing Serbia. The U.S. will be playing, like I said, will be playing France. So pretty good games coming up on Saturday. Now on the women's side, the women's basketball team will meet Australia for the gold. That will be also tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow. That will be on tomorrow. And the Americans on both sides, the men and the women, are showing how dominating that we are in the world when it comes to the sport of basketball. Noah Lyles wins the 200-meter bronze Olympic gold bronze medal. Excuse me. Then told reporters that he ran the race with COVID-19. Yeah. Now, having been diagnosed with this illness 2 days earlier, he was feeling chills, aching, and sore throats, and was in the middle of the night that he woke up and tested positive at 5 a.m. Tuesday morning. So he ran the race even with COVID. So I don't get that. I really don't get that. Once you find out that you have COVID, they supposed to immediately take you out. But then again, I think they did not. I think they banned that for the time being. COVID is still here, ladies and gentlemen. COVID is still here and it's still strong. And if you think that this is still a witch hunt to some of you people that say that, and you're wrong. COVID is still here. I know some people personally who's having COVID right now. So just make sure that you wear your mask and make sure you have your shots. That's important. So he wins the bronze medal in the 200-meter while running and had COVID-19. Now, Australia, they go that country again, knocked off the U.S. water polo for the women's side. The U.S. will play the Netherlands for the bronze medal, and it ended the U.S. winning streak of 3 consecutive gold medals. Try for the gold, which they had won in previous years, because the Olympics is every 4 years, and they will no longer win the gold. They will be battling for the bronze. Australia will face Spain for the gold medal. This day in sports, 1920, the Detroit Tigers beat the New York Yankees 1-0 in the shortest American League game ever. It only took 73 minutes. 73 minutes. That's an hour and 13 minutes. So that was one of the quickest games ever in the American League. 1970, the New York Yankees honor Casey Stengel, retiring his number 37. 1972, New York Yankees signed a 30-year lease to play in a remodeled Yankee Stadium. As you know, Yankee Stadium was built originally back in 1920 and 1921, and then they demolished it roughly around 1971, 1972, and they had to play at Shea Stadium for a couple of seasons until it was remodeled. 1976, the Chicago White Sox, I remember this here too, suit up in shorts. They actually had a uniform that had shorts. It was some of the most ugly looking uniforms you would want to see, but they was wearing shorts, I guess, to keep cool. I'm going to get back to the Chicago White Sox in a second, so I'll get back to that. In 1990, Carlton Fisk ties Johnny Bench hitting 327 home runs as a catcher. At that time, was a record. 1992, the original Dream Team in 1992 wins the basketball gold medal Olympics. In 2004, John Elway is inducted into the National Football League Hall of Fame. Birthdays. 1930, happy birthday to the late Jerry Tarkanian, NCAA men's basketball coach, born in Euclid, Ohio. Happy birthday, 1936, to Frank Howard, Major League Utility and Manager, Rookie of the Year, was born in Columbus, Ohio. Happy birthday to tennis legend Roger Federer, 20 times Grand Slam singles champion, was born in Bollington, Switzerland. And happy birthday to AJ Wilson, WNBA player, who is known as the best women's basketball player as we speak, was born in Hopkins, South Carolina. Now, back to the Chicago White Sox. They had lost 21 straight games in a row. They finally win a game the other night. Then they start another streak last night of losing. Then they fired their manager. Now, I would not want to wish anybody to lose their job and everything, but you got to be kidding me. You lost 20 games in a row. Really? 20 games in a row? Not only that you should have lost your job, and again, I don't wish nobody to lose their job, but you lost 20 games in a row, something had to happen. And who's the first to go? I know the players are the ones that's supposed to perform out there, but you're the manager. You're supposed to get your players ready. So he gets canned. Probably more management will get canned at the end of the season. They are over 44, 45 games out of first place. Do they have a chance to come back into the playoffs? I would say not. I would say not. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a hurricane night here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, I'm speechless. 21. Actually, I wasn't really speechless. I'm being a little dramatic here, but that was something else. And the Baltimore, they tied for the Baltimore Orioles. They did that in 1988. The Baltimore Orioles lost 21 in a row as well. So they
fought. Well, I tell you, they fought like hell to break that record. So they won the game 3-2. I wish I could play the Chicago White Sox the broadcast team, where they they was very comical in the win, and they were relieved, because then when you have to call these games and the job that you're calling, and they lose 20 games in a row, what's there to really talk about? You run out of things to say. You run out of positive things. It'll be okay. You'll win one day, but they finally won.
I don't know. I mean, even a 1969 Mets did better than that.
Yeah. Well, the 1962 Mets lost 100 games.
62 Mets, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
62 Mets, yeah. 1962 Mets, they lost, they won 62 and lost 100 games, yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. On your phone, you can't see who's on. You can't see anyone, can you?
No, I cannot. Who's out there? Is Mary out there?
Greeted you. She greeted you earlier when you came on, but I
Hi,
guess,
Mary. I'm on my iPhone. Sorry, I couldn't get my tablet to respond to you, but hope all is well. Hope you all safe out there in New York and the East Coast.
yeah. And if anyone had any questions, sports question, I would be able to relay it to you. You know, since you can't see anything right now, but I'll keep you informed of what's happening, who comes out here, who says or whatever they have to say. Uh, she says to you, have a blessed night. You know, I hope that doesn't mean she's leaving, but anyway.
Right. But what I would do is after I get off live with you, I could go back to Facebook and comment on whoever is on there and they ask any questions.
Yeah,
But I can't watch. I don't have a split screen for my iPhone.
yeah. But is your equipment all right? The other one that you're usually on, is it okay?
Yeah, I gotta update it. You know, I just have to update it. You know, hopefully I could do it tonight. If not, you'll see me back here again on my iPhone tomorrow as well.
Now, I want to ask you this. I mean, I come up with these cuckoo ideas, you know, and it probably, maybe it'll materialize. Do you ever think that they'll ever have Special Olympics for seniors, for senior citizens who are,
Oh gosh. Oh no, I would not think so. No.
I
Uh-uh.
came up, that thought just came to me.
Mm.
You know, I mean, because I like to see everybody active, you know, and
Yeah.
I came up with this idea. I said, because you know, they do have like like geriatric teams for senior citizens, not pro teams, but you know, like regular teams, bar teams or something like that. They have softball teams for senior citizens and things like that. But I'm talking about the pros. You know, people, because every senior citizen is not disabled.
I
And
agree with you. But if you're going to do something like that, you have to have a cutoff age. You
yeah,
know, I mean,
yeah,
you know, that's something you got to be very careful with. You know,
it
you know.
doesn't have to be, you know, they don't have to like when they have a track team or something like, I mean, not really rigorous sports like that. I mean, something, not something that's like really physical, you know, something soft, something nice, you know.
Right.
But
It's a possibility. I doubt it because you know it would have happened already. I just don't see it happening. You know, it's too much of a risk of somebody getting seriously hurt.
yeah,
Unless they ban the you know they just you know make up the rules differently like they have done like in baseball the old timers day. You know,
yeah.
you only play what 3 innings for old timers day. You know, so that'd be a little different.
Well, well, I'll cancel that thought then because, you know, I don't want to see anybody get worn out. But at the same time, senior citizens could still be active in many ways. You can't throw them out the window because there are a lot of things that they do. Listen, I go to the gym and I've got people in the gym that are older than me, which by the way inspires me, you know, to do well at the gym. You know, and I see people that coming in like they're like in their 80s, right? And
Yeah.
some senior citizens, I think, I say to all senior citizens who are watching, you know, stay in good health as much as you can because you're still productive. Senior citizens are productive people, you know?
You know what? You know, you're absolutely right. My best friend's father, who's in his late 80s, gets on the treadmill 7 days a week and just walk on the treadmill.
Okay.
And here it is, me, you know, I struggle to get on the treadmill at certain days, you know. But he's my inspiration because I'm saying to myself, if he could do it, I could do it. I
Yeah.
should not complain, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you know, when you get on the treadmill, you know, you don't have to make it a marathon. You just do what you're supposed to do in your own pace.
Exactly.
But he does it every morning, 7 days a week.
Well, he's
I just do it 5 days a week, and that's it.
well, he's better than I am. I couldn't do that. But you know, the most importantly, he says he's in his 80s, right?
Late 80s, yeah.
Inspirational. That's an inspirational age for someone who's younger. And because there are some young people that can't even achieve that. You know,
Yeah.
that's good. And I think, and that just just reminds me to remind other senior citizens, you know, I'm at the age too where they're productive people and they should stay active and do what they can to keep their bodies in shape, and they can go a long way. And they can
Right.
still go, and they can still work. Senior citizens still work. There's some that still work.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right.
Absolutely. All right, so
Yep.
I guess we'll catch you back here tomorrow morning on the coffee hour.
We'll be here tomorrow as soon as we finish up getting rid of Hurricane Debbie, you know, and yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here live, and hopefully I can get my other technology tablets working
Yeah.
and get, you know, just do some updates. And yes.
Yeah, sometimes those updates will throw you and you won't be able to do the things that you normally do. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
but it's always good, like you say, to have a backup plan, which is good.
Yeah, this is in the world of technology now. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll catch you back here in the morning then.
Take care, Mary. Take care, everybody. And remember, COVID is still here. See you later.
Take care. There's no question about that. COVID is here. That reminds me to tell you that, you know, I went to my local pharmacist just yesterday, as a matter of fact. Which I just happened to be in, but I stopped in the back just to ask, you know, when is the flu shot's going to be available? And so she gave me the dope. She said it would probably be happening at the end of this month, early next month, which that's usually the case. And so that's coming up. And when that news come out, of course, I'm going to remind you guys about it, and you guys act accordingly. But what Brian said about the COVID thing, now the pandemic, understand something, the pandemic is gone, but COVID is here. There's a big difference. The pandemic is gone. Remember the pandemic, we all had to be isolated, virtually isolated from one another back then, you know? You couldn't get as close as 6 feet, you know, 6 feet. It was 6 feet distance, you know. And I got to tell you, people are still wearing their mask. I still see people wearing masks, you know, and it's not required, but they do it. And listen, I gotta tell you something. I've seen people wear masks before the pandemic even started. Remember Michael Jackson, before he died, he used to wear a mask. There was no pandemic then. He used to wear a mask and everybody thought he was crazy. Well, it just so happens that all of us have to wind up wearing masks, but people are doing that. So it's optional. If you want to continue to wear your mask, that's good too. You know, to the point where, you know, you check with your doctor and constantly, you know, they don't have those booths that used to line up in the street where you can get the free COVID test. They don't have those anymore because the pandemic is basically over. But there's a way to, you know, conquer your the virus itself if you stay up to date with your vaccines and all of that. Now, as far as a new COVID vaccine, no one has mentioned it yet. There's a possibility there may be one on the horizon. We'll talk about that. We'll see. You'll get to know that, and of course, so we'll let you know about that too. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And on this Thursday and every Thursday, we come to you live from New York City, and we get together and indulge in conversation and have you indulge as well. And we always love you to do that. And if you guys who are around the world and across the country happen to be under the sound of my voice, you can join us each week at this time. Just keep in mind that we always come on to you on our whenever I say it's time, the time is always Eastern for us, so you would have to act accordingly. Okay? So we thank you so much for being along with us anyway. And speaking of time, I think it's about that time, right? Yes, at this time, all the time, about that time, we go back in time to 1945. On this day in history, President Harry Truman signs the United Nations Charter. On this day in history, in 1945, USSR declares war against Japan in World War II. On this day in history, in 1956, WDIQ, which is now KMCT TV, Channel 2, in Dozier, Alabama, a PBS station begins broadcasting. On this day in history, in 1960, that record, remember Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini? Well, that was a hit. It hit #1 on the music charts that year. And back in 1966, South African broadcasting bans the playing of the Beatles songs due to John Lennon's remark that the band was more popular than Jesus. Back in 1968, Republican convention in Miami, Beach nominates Miami Beach nominates Richard Nixon for president. Back in 1969, the Beatles, we'll talk about them again, the Beatles photographed by Ian McMillan crossing the street. You've seen that photo many a times. They're crossing the street. They were leaving the EMI recording studios and crossed that street, and they put that picture on Abbey Road, that album Abbey Road. Back in 1979, Iraqi President Saddam Hussein executes 22 political opponents. In 1983, Columbia Records releases The Innocent Man by Billy Joel, his 9th studio album. It features 3 top Billboard hits, singles, and Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl, and of course, the title track as well. Back in 1988, rap group NWA releases their debut album, their studio album, Straight Out of Compton. Back in 1995, Gangsta's Paradise, a single released by Coolio, made Billboard's Song of the Year of 1995. 1996, American jazz artist Mel Torme suffers a stroke, ending his 65-year singing career. In 2022, Beyonce's singles Break My Soul is her first solo #1 on Billboard's Top 100 in 14 years, and the same week, her Renaissance album reaches #1 on Billboard's 200 chart. In 1907, jazz musician Benny Carter was born on this day in New York City. He died in 2003. In 1920, blues singer Jimmy Witherspoon was born on this day. In Girton, Arkansas, he died in 1997. In 1922, swimmer and actress Esther Williams was born in Inglewood, California. She died 2013. In 1932, country singer Mel Tillis was born on this day. He was born on this day in Pahokee, Florida, and he died 2017. Back in 1933, on this day in history, soul singer Joe Tex was born in Rogers, Texas, and he died in 1982. And let's see, actor Dustin Hoffman was born on this day, 1937, in Los Angeles, California. He's 87 years old today. In 1938, actress singer Connie Stevens was born in Brooklyn, New York. She's 86 years old today. In 1958, news anchor Deborah Norville from Today's Show and Inside Edition was born in Dalton, Georgia. She's 66 years old today. In 1992, actress Barbara Hershey weds artist Stephen Douglas. In 1993, California State Senator Tom Hayden weds actress Barbara Williams. They got divorced in 2016. In 1995, actress Kathy Najimy weds actor Dan Finnerty. Now, Kathy Najimy, she was one of the nuns on Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg. In 1968, actor Jack Nicholson divorces Sandra Knight after 6 years of marriage. In 2007, actor Tom Cruise and actress Nicole Kidman divorced after 10 years of marriage. In 1975, jazz artist Julian Cannonball Adderley dies of a stroke at the age of 46. In 1984, actor Richard Deacon, who played Mel Cooley on the Dick Van Dyke Show, dies of cardiovascular disease at the age of 62 years old. In 1988, actor Allan, who played on Batman, the Batman series in the 60s, dies at the age of 85 years old. Actress Fay Wray of King Kong, she was the one that King Kong took up on the Empire State Building, remember? Well, she died August 8th of this year. August 8th of, not of this year, but August 8th. She died August 8th. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. She died August 8th of 2004 at the age of 96 years old. She was born September 15th, 1907. Actress Patricia Neal died on this day in 2010 at the age of 84 years old from lung cancer. She was born January 20th, 1926 in Packard, Kentucky. In 2013, actress Karen Black dies from cancer at the age of 74 years old. Country singer Glenn Campbell died on this day in 2017, at the age of 81 years old. He was born April 22nd in 1936 in Delight, Arkansas. In 2022, songwriter and producer Lamont Dozier from the team of Holland Dozier Holland, the Motown team, dies at the age of 81 years old. And finally, singer Olivia Newton-John died on this day in 2022 at the age of 73 years old from breast cancer. She was born September 26, 1948 in Cambridge, England. And so that's what's happening on this day in history. Now, those of you may know something that happened on this day in history, and of course, you'd like to convey it to us. Maybe I didn't mention it, maybe because I didn't know about it. Of course, we would love to hear from you. Just all you have to do is just type in. Just type it in. Just type it in right there. Use your fingers. Let those fingers do the walking. Type in the information we need to know. And of course, people out there, they see it anyway. And of course, they'll get the information from the both of us, right? So that's all this day in history. In case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We're here with you, and we've been here, and the show is just about over. It's almost over. But we invite you to stay with us, and you can still interact with us. But in case you don't want to interact with us, but you'd like to get in touch with me, you can do that. Now, you can contact me for any reason. Let me give you my email address. I have an email address and a telephone number. I'll start with the email address first. Email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's a very important detail. And prod is P-R-O-D, that's short for production. frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, you can contact for any reason at all. You know, even if it's just to say hi, you just want to say, I saw the show and I just want to say hi. I don't want to get involved in conversation just yet, but I just want to say hi. Or you can get in contact with us to let us know if your birthday is coming up or your loved one's birthday is coming up and you want us to announce it on the show, to acknowledge you on the show. You can come on live and do it yourself. But hey, listen, you know, we're open to a lot of things. We can do that for you. Maybe you want to talk about the show and say, hey, you know, so I saw the show and I have this idea, maybe you could to inject into the show. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you. Or maybe you want to critique the show, which a lot of people do, which we encourage you to do because we're open. We would like us to know where you stand as far as this show goes. And we would like to hear from you. We're always open ears. We listen to you and we listen to you very, very carefully. All right. So get in touch with us. Keep that information with you at all times. All right. And I don't mean that you have to drag it on your back or anything. You know, you carry your phone with you all the time, right? There you go. Some of you guys carry your laptops with you, right? On your back in a strap bag, right? A lot of people carry their laptops wherever they go. But listen, you can store it there in your computer. You can store it in your telephone and you carry it and it'll be at your disposal. You can carry it anywhere, right? It's not, everything is in that phone anyway. if everything in that phone had weight on it, and you carrying all of that, you will have a hard time getting where you're going. It'll be so heavy, but it's weightless. And so everything goes to the phone is weightless. The only thing that has a little weight is the phone, but you can carry that. You can carry it in your pocket, you know, in your bag or whatever. But anyway, you can keep that information in your phone, your computer, or your tablet, whatever device that you use that you could store these things. You keep it with you and keep it handy because you may want to use it again and again. And so with that being said, get in contact with us, right? Should I give you that address one more time? I will. The address, once again, is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Well, you already heard about the news, right? It's not news anymore. I mean, listen, I only come on once a week, every Thursday. So whatever news materialize, I give it to you late, but we keep reminding you about it. And we see that Vice President Kamala Harris has selected her choice to run with her. That's Tim Walz. And I gotta tell you, the day that she made the selection, if she was out in Philadelphia, those of you who live in Philadelphia may have been there when they filled up that big venue. And that big venue was in what college was that in Philadelphia? Was if someone can help me out with that in California, out in Philadelphia. Anyway, they filled that big venue. I mean, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there, right? And they were out there, and she came out, and she came out with a running mate, Tim Walz, came out on stage. Everybody applauded. I saw the whole thing. From top to bottom, the whole speech. I saw everything. And you know something, I was never so, even though I had fun, first of all, I had fun watching it. I had a lot of fun watching it. And I was also, as well as, I know how serious it was, but I was also entertained by it. I was totally entertained. And it was so much, a lot of people talked about it, you know, the joy of it all. Like, she brought so much joy, and it was fun to watch. It was actually fun to watch. You know, it was like watching my favorite TV show, you know, and she came out and she campaigned and she talked issues. She says, now it's time to run. And she talked a lot of things, a lot of promising things that all of us were looking forward to. And then her running mate, Tim Walz, you know, did his speech. And Tim Walz, you know something, I didn't, before this, I didn't know too much about him. I'm learning about him now. And I did so much as go on to Google him, to read up more about him, his military experience, him being a father of two, father of his daughter Hope and his son Gus, and his wife Gwen, you know. And I researched all his military record, and it's very impressive. And while watching them up there, while Vice President Kamala Harris was speaking, I loved the way he was smiling. I loved the way he was all enthusiastic about it. And he looked like the type of a person that I would like to go into a saloon with and have a couple of beers with. He looked like that kind of person. I'm learning more and more about him. There's still more for me to learn about him, but I'm learning more and more about him each day. And each day that comes along, and as they campaign and go from city to city and nation to nation, I learned more and more about him. And he's a likable guy. And I understand, you know, she picked him over, a lot of people thought that Josh Shapiro, a lot of people thought that he was going to get in, and he would have been a good choice. As a matter of fact, all of the people she had on the back burner there would have been good choices, But this is the choice she made, and I think it was a good choice as well. And I look forward to this debate that's coming up too. And of course, Donald Trump you heard the news today that he wants to debate 3 times. He wants to debate 3 times. But Vice President Kamala Harris is saying that she's sticking to the ABC debate that they had originally, which of course, Donald Trump said anytime, any place. We don't know what happened to that. But she said, and she's sticking to it, she says, I hope to see him there. So what I get out of that is that she's not accepting all of this other stuff. I don't know, at least not yet. I haven't heard anything yet, unless, of course, she's changing her mind and she's going to do that. But as far as I know right now, she's sticking to the original plan. And I think I like the original plan better myself. All right. Because of course, he wants his news on Fox News. And of course, that's something that you expect to happen anyway. But there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her out there, and I'm looking forward to those massive crowds that she have out there that support her. Donald Trump said something that actually, well, he always offends me anyway, but he said something that really offended me and should offend every Black American. When he was talking about 1962, back in 1962, remember the 1962 speech that Dr. Martin Luther King did in Washington, D.C., and that whole big massive crowd that went way out there, past the pond, all the way to the Washington Monument. And Donald Trump had the gall, the audacity on his little clown speech that he did today, said that he drew more of a crowd than Dr. Martin Luther King did in Washington. That kind of offended me because we know that was a lie, but then again, he never really ceased to amaze me anyway, because, he's going to keep offending. And I think that's why, he comes up with these names for these people. And the good thing about it, he can't rattle. Right now, he's having a problem rattling Vice President Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. He's having a hard time rattling them like he always do. He tries to rattle different people, but he's having a hard time doing that. And I think that's why he's running scared right now. But we could talk about that forever. But I just wanted to bring that up, that it was a wonderful thing to watch while she was in Philadelphia. That was a great thing to watch while she was in Philadelphia. Okay, we're going to talk about those movies. And unfortunately, I do have, but I only have one this week. And the weekend is coming up, and we always like you to keep abreast on what's happening with the movies. And of course, one of the things that you may want to do on the weekend is watch some of the old movies. All right, I just want to add this one movie to your bucket list of what to watch. I think you're going to like this one. It's not a classic. It's not a black and white. It's a color movie back from 1982. I enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's called Sophie's Choice. A great movie starring Meryl Streep, Kevin Kline, and Peter McNichols. And that's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can watch it this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a wonderful movie. I enjoy it. 1982 movie. And when you go to Turner Classic Movies, and I really wish you would, go there and go through the program guide and look up, because there may be more movies that you may like that you want to add to your bucket list of movies, what to watch. If you can't watch these movies in real time, you can DVR them, especially the movie I just told you about. You can DVR it and watch it later on. The movies on demand, you can't DVR them. They're there, and you can just watch them over and over if you like. And of course, you can keep on watching other things. They've got a lot of wrestling programs and sports, documentaries, children program, and all kinds of things. So go there and check it out. All right. So let me give this movie one more time. It's called Sophie's Choice, back in 1982, and it stars Meryl Streep, Kevin Kline, and Peter McNichols, and that's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you get a chance to watch that one movie, and I think you'll like it. I know you will like it. It's time for me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you, Mary, for being along with us all of this time, and the rest of you for being along with us. We're going to come back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., and we're going to be on my other show called The Coffee Hour. Brian Camp is going to be along with me, and more sports along the way with the latest developments in today's world of sports on his show called Sports Update. And of course, I hope you'll be here too. We'll be looking forward to seeing you here. And then you can check us out next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live with yours truly and Brian Camp with more sports. And I hope you'll be here to enjoy it as well. We thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to bid you a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and a pleasant good night. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.